This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. Governor Eric Holcomb today unveiled his 2023 Next Level Agenda just days before the next session of the Indiana General Assembly begins. The agenda includes a 2-year, $43 billion budget that increases spending by $5.5 billion, and Holcomb says there will still be plenty left over.
We'll be mindful not to spend more than we have. This budget that we'll submit tomorrow at 10 a.m. does not do that. In fact, it's leaving 14.4% in reserves.
Among the many agenda items is another $500 million for a second round of the Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative. Indianapolis-based Flaherty & Collins Properties says it will invest $80 million in 4 housing developments, including 3 in Indiana. 2 of the projects are upgrades on buildings in South Bend and Hebron, while the other 2 projects are adaptive reuses of commercial and historic buildings to create more affordable housing in Indianapolis and Kansas City, Missouri. The former CEO of Indianapolis-based TechPoint has a new gig in Indy. Mike Langelier has joined High Alpha as operating partner and head of new ventures, and the venture studio says he will help discover, refine, and launch new tech companies. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Don't miss your chance to nominate a worthy business or community leader for IBJ's 40 Under 40 Awards. It's one of our most prestigious awards programs celebrating the accomplishments of leaders under the age of 40. We're on the lookout for people who have achieved a level of success that is rare at a young age. Who will be named to this year's class? We need your input. Learn more and submit your nomination by January 13th at ibj.com/nominations.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Big Wigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
The Assistant Dean of Learning and Assessment at the Purdue University College of Pharmacy says pharmacy employees are being asked to do more with fewer resources, which has created a tough work environment. Kimberly Illingworth, who is also a professor of pharmacy practice, said the ongoing pharmacy staffing shortage is having a particularly large effect as people continue to deal with COVID, RSV, and other illnesses.
Just a few short years ago, we were talking about an oversupply, and things have turned, especially after COVID, because people are making different choices in their career, and there are more choices for pharmacists to make and going to different career paths. So one thing is really focusing in on employee well-being. A lot of the national associations right now, they're looking at well-being and trying to provide resources and also work with companies to help in that area.
Illingworth said there are some state legislatures that are looking into bills regarding those issues, such as what would create a safe environment, how many technicians a pharmacist are allowed to work, as well as how many pharmacists are necessary. Global cloud computing powerhouse Salesforce was mum this morning about the effect on its Indianapolis operations of a major restructuring plan that will eliminate about 10% of its workforce company-wide and shrink its real estate footprint. San Francisco-based Salesforce is the signature tenant in downtown Indianapolis's 48-story Salesforce Tower, where it leases a significant chunk of space over multiple floors. The company employs about 73,500 people worldwide, about 2,300 of which work in Indy. Salesforce filed paperwork with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission this morning outlining the plan, but was short on details on how specific divisions and bases of operation would be affected. An associate professor of business law and ethics at the Indiana University Kelley School of Business expects to see a growing number of lawsuits from other states against social media company TikTok. Abby Stemler says lawmakers are skeptical of what the Chinese government might be doing with user information obtained through the Chinese-owned video platform. She says the platform appears to be misleading.
In particular, TikTok's use of advertising itself as something appropriate for children, when in fact it is not. And so in Indiana, for example, the Attorney General just filed a lawsuit against TikTok for false advertising, saying that the age-appropriate designation on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store was inappropriate, and it should be something more for adults, like 17 plus.
Stemler, who is also a faculty associate at Harvard University's Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society, says lawmakers and state attorneys general may fight a 25-year-old amendment to the Communications Act of 1934 to combat social media companies like TikTok. Indianapolis Zoo CEO Rob Shoemaker is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.